these good old stroll reviews. I did not plan on doing any reviews this week. My voice has been going in and out. I think I'm having like some really bad effects of wearing a mask 24/7. But you know, we do what we got to do. But last night I came home and I was just looking for something to watch, something really random. And I was scrolling on Hulu and just saw Entanglement. I wasn't really reading, I wasn't searching for anything in particular, but I just saw the word entanglement. And by now, we all are familiar with entanglement. If we were not familiar before, it has been all about entanglement for like the past 2 weeks with the Jada Pinkett and August Alsina situation. But I just, randomly clicked something. And after watching it, I was like, what don't I know about this movie? I haven't heard anything about this movie. I haven't seen any advertisement for this movie. I didn't promote nothing. But it was really good. And I just wanted to, let you guys know that it was really good and maybe you could go watch it. But okay, the film is called The Weeknd. It's a 2018 release and it's directed by Stella Meggy, I believe. Stella Meggy, if I'm saying that correctly. But she directed The Photograph, starring Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield. I love the both of them. I wasn't the biggest fan of The Photograph. It was a very, very stylish, beautiful movie, but I felt like Issa Rae in particular was miscast for the role. I just didn't see it. It wasn't authentic. I was like, this role would have been like really suited for someone else. Someone else would have. I just wasn't seeing the chemistry with her and Lakeith. I don't know. But anyway, and I was just also really more interested in her mom and the long lost love situation. I was more interested in their story than I was more invested in the Lakeith Issa situation. But okay, this film, completely different story. I like this movie a whole lot better. This is the first time in a long time that I've watched a comedy and smiled like the whole time. And it was late. Like I watched this late and it kept my attention. I was just like, this is so good. But it's The Weeknd. It's a comedian. She goes on like a little weekend trip type situation with her ex and his girlfriend. And another guy just happens to show up to stay at the same bed and breakfast that they're having their little weekend break at. It stars, let me make sure I say these names right. Sasheer Zamata. I was not familiar with her. After this movie, I am very familiar with her. I'm gonna never forget her because she's something special. But she, from my understanding, is a SNL cast member or ex-SNL cast member. I've never been a big fan of SNL. I was always a Mad TV person. I never understood the hype behind SNL. But she's from there and she really shines here. It's really good. It also has Noel that you may know him from the recent Purge movie, or I know him through Insecure as Daniel, the nice, fine, sexy chocolate man. Tony Bell, who is spectacular here too. I was not familiar with him at all, but he does a really good job here. And DeWanda Wise, who I met really well through the She's Gotta Have It series. I recommend that if you haven't seen it. More so season 1 than season 2, because season 2 got a little lost it. And Kim Whitfield, the mom from Sugar from Next Friday, who people like to act like they don't know the difference between her and Jackie Harry in that meme. And I'm like, come on, this lady, you know, has a really thick roster. Don't do her like y'all don't know her. But anywho, I really, 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 really like this movie. I really like this movie. It's a comedy, so of course it was, well, I'm not gonna say that because some comedies, it depends on your taste in comedy. For me, I was laughing. I thought it was really funny. Really funny. But Sasheer Zamata, she plays Sadie. It was nice to see a Sadie. Sadie is very quirky, awkward, obnoxious. She's rude, a little bit of a tomboy. She's not your everyday image that we get to see as far as Black women. And that's why I think when Insecure hit, we gravitated towards that so hard and grabbed on like, whoo, this is different. I see a little bit of myself. Because so many times we are, you know, get those typecast roles that are put on us, you know, the domestic role, the angry Black woman, the best friend, you know, you're sassy. You're either really sassy or you're really sexy. Not Sadie. Sadie was none of that. Sadie was a lot like the people I know. Sadie was just like, you don't know if you wanted to hate or love Sadie, but you knew like Sadie is special. Like when Sadie hits the screen, it's like a breath of fresh air because it takes something like this, like a really simplistic indie film, for us to get different representation, and not only from Sadie, from the male characters, the mom, the even Kim Whitley, the, you know, Next Friday character. She gets to shine a little bit here because I've never seen her kind of toned down. She's always, you know, typecast as really loud, really abrasive, and, you know, she was none of that here. She was very toned down. You really got to see her in a different light here. But back to Sadie. She's a comedian, so it shows through here in her role as she's pretending to be a comedian who's going on this little weekend trip with her ex-boyfriend and his girlfriend. And when I tell you she is a breath of fresh air to see, like, you guys don't know. If you couldn't tell, like, I like the movie. It's a very small cast. You don't get an array of different characters. Very small, pretty much in not pretty much, completely in all Black cast. There's lots of range in the film. You get to touch on kind of growing up, you know, that kind of coming of age when you're like not quite 30, you know, that 25 30 range where you're just still trying to figure things out. You are, of course, you know, an adult, but you're trying to, you know, maneuver as, you know, a grown-up life. Do I want children? Do I want to pursue this career? What do I want to do? Do I want to grow up? It's scary. You know, it touches on that more so in the relationship sense, and knowing, kind of trying to get a grasp on what you want out of a person versus what you're willing to accept and appreciate that the person already brings. Because if you are 30, like myself, in a couple months, well, a month, you know you're not going to get everything you need from one person. You're just not. Everybody, it's just not everything. Like, where they're strong, something else is lacking. And it's just about what you're willing to accept. I also like that we got to kind of touch on, you know, women kind of being the pick me. You know how you kind of sit around and wait for this one guy, and this guy is living his life. I mean, you know, you have your little encounters, little relationships here and there, but the end game is this one guy. Like, you're kind of waiting. Like, I just want him to notice me, come back to me. We get to see how someone maneuvers through that and finally decide what they want to do when this person does come back to them. And we also get to see, while she's maneuvering what she wants to do, this other guy, Noel, aka Daniel, shows up, you know, kind of giving some attention. And we see the ex just kind of, you know, you want the old thing back when you see them with someone else type situation. Like all of a sudden they're so amazing and all these things that you hated before. Like, you know, maybe it wasn't that bad. You know, maybe it's all of that. And it's done in such a simple way and with such maturity. It was just like, y'all just put this on Hulu and ain't heard a word from it. And I just caught it because I saw Entanglement and thought that was funny. Oh man. But it's, you know, about finding yourself and finding yourself within a relationship and deciding, you know, when you get older and you're done kind of playing around, what do I want my relationships to look like? What do I want my partner to look like? But the movie was great. I hope you guys take out the time to watch it. If you have not watched it, please go watch it. Go watch it. Nothing's blowing up, no action. It's just a simple comedy about 4 or 5 cast members. Really great scenery, something to look at. You know, it's calmer outdoors. I'm an outdoorsy person. It's just, it was relaxing to come home after a long day after work and just see such. But the movie was awesome. I did give the movie 8 out of 10. The only conflict I had with the movie was just certain situations and the way the whole movie kicks off to the way that it ends. As a woman, I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that for that long. We're not doing that with such maturity. Because some things, it was just like, people out here doing that? Like, that's some mature stuff if you're able to do that and still call your partner. But other than that, everything else was awesome. So you guys, you know, so you check it out. It's the weekend. Sasheer Zamata, Noel, Tony Bell, DeWanda Wise, and Kim Whitley. Just give it a chance. Come back. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't want to really do a deep, in-depth review and, you know, spoil the film, but I hope I touched on enough to make you go, hey, I may want to watch that. Leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for all the current people who are subscribing and, you know, checking out my videos. Thank you so much. You don't know how much I appreciate that. I see you guys back for another review. Thank you. Bye.